Truth be told, I swore to spill it all, every last bit, no holding back. But should I feel guilty for kinda fudging that promise? I mean, I didn't exactly hit the mark on laying out every detail. 2 out of 3's pretty decent, right? Oh well, you move on. My wife, Amanda, she's climbing the ladder as an investment manager, gunning to take over her dad Frank's job when he steps down at year's end. For the past 3 decades, Frank's been steering a massive retirement fund for some state-backed group, turning it into a billion-dollar beast. A committee's been sifting through resumes to replace him, and with Frank's say-so, they've whittled it down to Amanda and one other contender. Frank, though, he's a real piece of work, full of himself. Me and him never clicked. He's got loud opinions and thinks my job's a joke. Honestly, the less I'm around him, the better I feel. When Amanda and I got engaged, Frank pushed this brutal prenup on us. It was like, if anyone cheats, you're left with nothing but your own shadow. Kids in the mix. It gets nastier. There's even some cold formula for alimony. Didn't rattle me, though, staying loyal's a big deal to me. I'm Michael Smith, by the way. Amanda and I were both 29 when we crossed paths at a conference a little shy of 3 years back. I'm a manager at a firm that sets up and runs limited partnerships. Amanda's in the game too, working for a company dishing out investment advice. That day at the conference, she was up there giving a talk about tax perks for some hot new investment options. Later, at the dinner, Amanda and her coworker Nicole plopped down at my table. Both of them were super flirty, and we ended up hitting a nightclub called Spread Your Wings to dance. Out on the floor, I was having a blast with both, but Amanda, she kinda staked her claim on me. Not that I was complaining, either one would have been great, but Amanda had my attention. She was the one driving our relationship from the get-go. Barely 2 weeks after we met, things got real. It was a Friday night, and I'd just gotten home from work when Amanda showed up at my place. Forget dinner, she said with this sly grin, let's just stay in tonight. From there, our connection took off fast. She was full of fire, and we bonded on a level I'd never felt before, way deeper than just sparks flying. There was something real between us, not just physical stuff. Like that night she picked me, Amanda could be pretty possessive. Her job meant we were at these work parties every week, and she wasn't shy about wanting me by her side. Said the guys there got crude, hitting on her in ways that crossed lines. When we weren't at those events, we'd grab dinner, hit the dance floor, or just chill together. We were practically glued at the hip. Up until everything fell apart, this was the first marriage for both of us. Frank went all out, throwing a huge bash for his little girl's wedding. Amanda's income leaned hard on her commissions, so my salary kept us afloat that first year. We were stashing cash for a house. Then, about 6 months before it all went south, Amanda scored some big clients, and her bonuses were massive. Her career kept soaring, but she started acting different, turning into Frank, right in front of me. Suddenly, I wasn't measuring up as her husband anymore. Around that time, Amanda and Nicole, who was still single, started having these girls' nights out once a month. They'd head back to Spread Your Wings, that same club we danced at when we met. The last couple times, Amanda came home pretty drunk, her clothes all messed up. I started wondering if she was really being faithful. Then, at a recent family get-together, Frank had one too many and was slinging insults at everybody, including me. I ditched Amanda at the family gathering and caught a ride home, leaving her with the car. When she stormed through the door later, she was fuming. "How could you just bail on me like that?" she snapped, her voice sharp as she burst in. I shrugged and told her to handle it. Frank's her dad, and if he can't act decent, I'm not sticking around to take it. "That's just how he is," she shot back, brushing it off. "You've gotta learn to let it roll off you." I wasn't buying it. I shouldn't have to tune out anybody at a family thing. That's not what respect looks like. Not even a week later, I was at a work seminar downtown, checking in with the office during a break, when I spotted Frank slipping into an elevator. Could have been nothing, but the more I chewed on it, the shadier it seemed. A buddy from work has a brother who's a private investigator, and he offered to dig into Frank for a good price. Turns out, Frank's been blowing his cash on escorts, pretty high-end ones, too. I slipped the guy a nice tip for the dirt. Next time Frank comes at me with his nonsense, I'm ready to hit him with this bombshell. Around that time, our neighborhood had a few break-ins, so I asked my landlord if I could put up a motion sensor camera by the front door. He gave me the green light, so I set it up. It records a quick clip when it detects movement and pings my phone through our Wi-Fi. Amanda was out shopping when I installed it, and when she got back, I tried showing her how it worked, but she waved me off, saying she had to get ready for another girls' night out. I'd had enough and told her it was time to ditch those nights. We didn't yell, but it got heated. "Look, Amanda," I said, choosing my words, "I think you should rethink these outings." Her eyes narrowed. "What's that supposed to mean?" she fired back, defensive. "I'm not cool with you hitting the club with random guys every month," I explained. "Feels like something a married woman shouldn't be doing." She wasn't having it, and we went round and round. "I'm worried about how much you need these dance nights," I pushed. She brushed it off as harmless time away from me. "You're reading way too much into this, it's not what you're thinking," she said, shutting me down. Around 7 that evening, Nicole showed up in jeans, ready to head out. Amanda, dolled up in a dress, barely said a word as they left together. I decided to swing by Spread Your Wings to see what Amanda was really up to. That place is a zoo on Fridays, good luck finding a parking spot. It was so packed inside, I had to stand way back from the dance floor just to see anything. When I finally spotted Amanda, my stomach sank. She was pressed up against some dude, his hands wandering places they had no business being, one gripping her low, the other way too comfortable somewhere else. When the song ended, I watched them stroll back to a table. Nicole was there with some other guy, their chairs scooted close. At least Nicole's jeans made it harder for her date to get too handsy. Amanda and her guy dragged their chairs side by side, cozy as could be. Looked like all four of them had hands dipping under the table. Then Amanda's guy lifted his hand, gave it a sniff, and leaned in to whisper something to her. She leaned right back into him, all smiles. I'd seen enough. I shot her a text, "I'm done watching this. Get a room. I'm heading home to pack." I was almost home when her reply buzzed in, "Pack for what?" I typed back, "I'm moving out." A minute later, my phone blared with her ringtone. "What the hell's going on?" she demanded, her voice sharp. "After what I saw tonight," I said, "it's not about if you're cheating, it's when. And I'm betting it's already happened, judging by how you were acting." "Nothing's going on," she insisted. "Not tonight, not ever. You're blowing this way out of proportion, it's not what you think." I wasn't buying it. "Yeah." His fingers were clean before they went under the table. They sure weren't when he pulled them back up. "That didn't happen," she pleaded, her voice cracking. "You've got it all wrong." I couldn't wrap my head around why Amanda's hands never seemed to stay on the table either. "I need some space from you," I told her. "Far as I'm concerned, I haven't done anything wrong. That flirting you were doing looked harmless, but it's got me thinking." She came back quick, "You're making a mountain out of nothing, this ain't what you're imagining." I shook my head. When my wife's gotta cozy up to strangers to feel good about herself, I start wondering if being married is even right for me. "It's not like that at all," she pushed, her voice firm. "I haven't crossed any lines. What you were up to last night wouldn't pass a smell test with any spouse. This talk's going nowhere. I'm crashing at a motel for a few nights. I'll reach out later." I ended the call. Pulling into our parking lot, I grabbed just enough stuff for a couple days, figuring I could swing by later for more clothes. At a stoplight on my way to the highway, my phone pinged, someone was at the front door. I checked the app, it was Amanda. Then her ringtone blared again. I answered, and she sounded stunned. You're seriously checking into a motel? Yup, heading there now, I said. No need for you to rush home. Didn't mean to kick your conscience into gear. Poor guy, though, leaving him all riled up. Or maybe you wrapped things up with him already. Her voice cracked. I can't believe you're saying this. Nothing happened, I swear. You're reading this all wrong. Then why is he sniffing his fingers like that? I shot back. Nothing like that went down, she insisted. As long as you keep dodging the truth, we're done. Night. I shut my phone off. I found one of those weekly rental joints a few blocks from my office, paid for 7 days, and settled in. Sleep didn't come easy, barely caught a wink, but it was better than tossing and turning all night. Bracing myself, I powered my phone back on in the morning. Sure enough, a flood of voicemails and texts from Amanda, all swearing she was innocent and I was dead wrong. I fired off a text, how about a polygraph? I'm getting tested for STDs today. Her reply took forever and dodged the point, go waste your money on whatever tests you want. Cool, so when's your lie detector test? I pressed. I never agreed to that, she said. Nicole thinks those things are as good as flipping a coin. Alright, I flipped one, I texted. Heads, you're cheating, tails, you're honest. Damn, it's heads. I can't believe you'd even think that, she wrote back. All I did was go dancing. You're blowing this out of proportion. Your body's supposed to be for me, not some random guy. What I saw last night. Nothing was off limits. It wasn't like that at all, she argued. I'm not gonna keep living this way, I told her. That's why I moved out. I think we need to try separating. She went silent, no calls, no texts for the rest of the day. Then, to my shock, the porch camera caught Amanda heading out around 7 that evening, all dressed up. By 10, another video popped up, she was back, but not alone. Some guy walked into our place with her. He slipped out about 30 minutes later. Maybe they caught the 10 o'clock news together, right? Deep down, I knew our marriage was toast, but I needed solid proof to protect myself with that prenup. Sunday, I tracked down a shop selling bedroom surveillance gear. I bought what I needed and planned to take a long lunch Monday to set it up. Living close to work was handy, gave me an extra half hour in the morning to eat and get ready. During lunch, I swung by the apartment, grabbed some financial papers, packed a couple suitcases with clothes, and cleared out my bathroom stuff. Installing the bedroom camera was a breeze, hooked it right into the ceiling light and set it to upload to the cloud over Wi-Fi. That night, Amanda texted, saw you stopped by. You ready to talk yet? Soon as you take that polygraph, I shot back. No back and forth that time. The rest of the week was calm, and I actually got more done at work than usual. Come Friday, I tacked another week onto my motel stay. That evening, around 7, my phone pinged with a porch camera alert. Nicole rolled up in jeans, and Amanda, all dolled up in a dress, headed out with her. Saturday morning, I pulled up the porch videos to see what I'd missed. Just like the week before, Amanda strolled back around 10 at night, but this time with a different guy. He slipped out after about half an hour. I logged into the cloud and checked the bedroom camera footage. What I saw was more than enough to lock in a slam-dunk divorce. Watching it as her husband gutted me, but it proved what I'd been dreading. Amanda had shattered our vows in the most personal way possible. I won't get into the nitty-gritty, but let's just say it wasn't some tender moment. It was raw, disrespectful, and showed Amanda had no issue getting cozy with a random dude she just met at the club. The real kicker came at the end. The guy yanked out his wallet and tossed 2 bills onto the bed. Catch you next time at Wings, he said, cool as you please. Amanda snatched up the cash, stared at it for a second, then lost it on him. What the hell's this? She yelled. I'm not that kind of woman. Take your damn money and get out of here, you pathetic jerk. She chucked the bills back at him. He grabbed them, waved them in her face, and sneered, "No sweat, lady. You weren't worth half this anyway. Might wanna take some classes." Then he was gone. Amanda grabbed a pillow, pounding it into the bed like 20 times before hurling it across the room. For a split second, I almost felt bad for her. Who am I kidding? I was over the moon with how this played out. Good luck convincing me I got this one wrong, Amanda. I replayed that video a bunch of times. It hit me, if you clipped it right when she's holding the cash, it could look like something else entirely. Ain't it wild how many video editing tools are out there these days? I tweaked it just right, and the final cut was pure gold. This was revenge way beyond what I'd ever dreamed up. I needed to swing by the apartment to grab email addresses for my next move. A couple days later, I took a long lunch, dug through our stuff, and found every contact I needed. While I was there, I unhooked the bedroom camera, didn't need it anymore. That Friday night, around 6, I showed up at Amanda's door. Well, look who's here," she said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "What's the occasion?" "It's your place too, you didn't have to knock." I kept my cool. "Amanda, I've decided I don't need that polygraph after all." Her face softened, like she thought we were turning a corner. "You never did, Michael. Ready to sit down and talk?" I motioned toward the couch. "Amanda, take a seat. I've got something you need to see. It's already a done deal, so just hear me out. You know this is still my apartment, so I had every right to set up cameras. Since I shot the footage here with my gear, I can share it with whoever I want. I'm dying for you to watch this, and then I'll tell you who else got a copy." That smug grin of hers vanished, replaced by a mix of panic and dread. I hit play. "What is this?" she gasped, her voice shaking. "You had no right." When the clip ended, she got right up in my face. "Where's the rest of it?" "That's not how it went down, you awful person." I leaned back, calm as could be. "Your reaction says it all, Amanda." "No, I'm sorry, no, I didn't mean to hurt you, nothing. Not a shred of regret. I'm probably jumping to conclusions, and it's not what I think, but it sure looks like you were taking cash for a good time, kinda like an escort." "What part did I miss?" "Where's the rest of the video?" she demanded. "I'm not an escort," I threw his money back. "From what I saw," I said, "you were probably overcharging him anyway." "How much did he pay you?" I asked, leaning in. $210, Amanda caught herself, eyes wide, then fessed up, they were $100 bills. I let out a low whistle. "Damn, you're charging top dollar, huh? Business must be booming at Wings. Am I getting this all wrong again?" She shook her head fast. "I'm not that kinda woman." "Here's the thing, Amanda, you kinda are," I said, my voice steady. "This footage is from last weekend. You were married, getting way too close with some guy who wasn't me. Paid or not, that's cheating. Like I said, I've already made my moves." She lunged for my phone, but I dodged her grab. "Hand over that video," she shouted. "You had no right to record that, and you sure as hell can't show it to anyone." I stayed calm. "Let's chat about who's seen it." I was worried folks might think I was tied up in your side hustle, so I sent a copy to the sheriff with a note saying I'm concerned your gig could mess with my life. Even offered to testify for the state. Hope they don't read too much into it. Her jaw dropped. "You did what?" "I'm not breaking any laws. It's not what it looks like." "Moving on," I said, ignoring her panic. "Your dad's no stranger to paying for company himself. I've got a PI's report proving it. I sent that, along with your video, to both him and your mom. If you're cool with messy family dinners, seems Frank's fine dropping cash for a good time." Her face before was rattled, but now. She was a wreck, eyes bulging, nostrils flaring, fists shaking like she might explode. "I hate you," she spat. "You're the worst person I've ever known." I smirked. "Funny, I was just thinking the same about you." "Great minds, right? Why'd you have to drag them into this?" she cried. "This was supposed to stay between us." "If I had footage of every guy you've been with, I'd have shared those too," I said. "Oh, and one more thing, I sent your video and Frank's report to that investment committee. Bet they'll give it a good look before picking the next managing director." Amanda crumpled to the floor, finally breaking down in tears. "Oh no," she sobbed. I kept going. "Thanks to your dad's prenup, looks like I'm keeping all our savings and checking accounts. My lawyer's already got the bank locking those down. Plus, with your knack for closing deals, you'll be paying me alimony." "Thanks, babe." I stepped to the door and waved in the process server. He tapped her shoulder. "Amanda Smith, you've been served." She looked up, tears streaming. "It's not what it seems. There's more to that video. You can't do this to me, you had no right." I shrugged. I know, I'm always jumping to conclusions, too dumb to get it. It's not what I think, right? Hey, if you hustle and get cleaned up, you might still make it to Wings tonight to snag another client." "I hate you," she hissed again. "Yeah, you did," I said, grinning. "But man, getting even feels so damn good. Have a nice life, Amanda. Wonder how this clip would play online." She went pale, begging now. "No, please, you can't. Don't do that, I'm begging you." "We'll see," I said. "Behave yourself, don't fight the divorce, and maybe I won't." I turned to leave. "Yo, Nicole," looking sharp, I tossed out coldly as I passed her in the hall. "She's not quite ready to head out yet." My bruised ego? Yeah, it's feeling a whole lot better after settling the score. The sheriff got in touch later. They'd talked to Amanda, but since there wasn't clear proof she was selling anything, no charges were filed. They did warn her they'd be keeping tabs on her. Frank didn't make it to his planned retirement, he got canned early. Word is he's holed up in some motel now. Guess Amanda's mom jumped to her own conclusions about his habits. Amanda's big dreams of stepping into her dad's shoes as managing director shot down with a polite, "Thanks for applying." The investment committee's final word came through, "We're going a different route." Then my phone buzzed with a text from Nicole, "Once this is all done, you want to hit the dance floor sometime?" I stared at that message for a good while, torn. Part of me was tempted to say yes, Nicole's always been easy on the eyes, and we had a spark when we first met. But something nagged at me, like a warning bell. Would I just be trading one mess for another? Nicole wasn't exactly a stranger to Amanda's world, they were tight, and she was right there for all those nights at Wings. I typed back, "Thanks for asking, Nicole, but I need some time to sort myself out. Hooking up with anyone tied to this chaos wouldn't be good for me right now." She never replied, which made me think I'd called it right, her interest didn't feel real. Maybe Amanda even put her up to it, fishing for a way back into my life or trying to dig up dirt. Either way, I knew I'd dodged a bullet. Over the next few months, I buried myself in my job. Landed some big partnerships that boosted our company's portfolio, and they bumped me up to a higher role as a reward. I also started giving back, volunteering at a community center near my place, teaching young folks how to manage their money. It gave me something bigger than just stewing over the past and helped me channel my frustration into something worthwhile. I started seeing a therapist, Dr. Carter, every couple of weeks to wrestle with my trust issues. She got me to see that while getting even felt good for a minute, real peace would only come from letting go of the grudge. It wasn't a quick fix, but bit by bit, I felt the heaviness start to ease. About 6 months after the divorce papers were signed, I bumped into Amanda at a coffee joint downtown. She looked worn out, skinnier, with tired eyes and dark shadows under them. Our gazes locked for a second, and I caught a mix of feelings in her face, guilt, maybe some anger, and a flicker of regret. She turned away fast, ditching her order and slipping out. I just stood there, feeling nothing. No smugness, no rage, no sympathy, just a hollow spot where all that fire used to be. That's when I knew I was finally turning a corner. The court handed me everything in the divorce, all our savings, plus alimony locked in. Even with it all behind me, I couldn't resist one last jab. I mailed Amanda the full, unedited video from an anonymous address. Too late to call that the whole truth, I guess. A year after the split, I sold the apartment and picked up a cozy little house in a quiet suburb, complete with a backyard garden. I adopted a scrappy shelter dog, a mutt I named Max, who had his own baggage to work through. Together, we figured out how to settle into our new routine, building a life we could both feel good about. I went on a few dates here and there, but I wasn't in any hurry to dive into something serious. Amanda's betrayal taught me to tread carefully, but Dr. Carter helped me see that being guarded didn't mean shutting everyone out for good. Sometimes, when I think back on everything, I wonder if I took the revenge too far. Looking back, that prenup would have covered my finances without torching Amanda's career or her family ties. But then I picture her face, locked in that dance with some random guy, how effortlessly she tossed our marriage aside, and I realize some wounds are just too raw for a quick, forgive and forget. One thing I've figured out is that truth, the full, unfiltered kind, ain't always neat and tidy. Amanda wasn't blameless, not by a long shot, but maybe my retaliation wasn't 100% fair either. We were both just people, messed up in our own ways, hurting each other differently. Word got back through some mutual friends that Frank and Amanda's mom patched things up and headed off to Florida for a fresh start. Amanda landed a job at a smaller outfit, nowhere near the big leagues she used to play in, but at least she's still in the game, doing what she knows. And me? I'm still piecing together how to let people in again, taking it one step at a time. The truth might have cut me loose from the past, but sometimes I catch myself wondering what I paid for that freedom. 2 out of 3 ain't the worst score, but next time, I think I'll shoot for the whole deal, the truth, nothing less, and nothing more. That's the end of my tale for now. If it hit home for you, maybe give it a nod of approval, pass it along to someone who might get it. Your support helps keep these stories out there, reaching folks who need to hear them. If you're just stumbling across this, stick around, there's more where this came from, and I'd love to have you along for the ride. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.